What if an entire family disappeared without warning? In April 2011, neighbors in Nantes, France, noticed something strange at the home of the Dupont de Ligonnès family. The blinds were shut, the mailbox overflowing, and no one had seen the parents or the 4 children. Days later, police made a horrifying discovery. Buried under the garden terrace were the bodies of Agnès Dupont de Ligonnès and her 4 children, Arthur, Thomas, Anne, and Benoit. All had been shot, execution style. The father, Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès, was missing. From that moment, he became France's most infamous fugitive. Investigators uncovered chilling evidence. Weeks before the murders, Xavier purchased cement, lime, and bullets. He canceled the family's subscriptions, closed bank accounts, and told the children's schools they would be moving to Australia. Even their family dog was found buried alongside the victims. Letters sent to relatives claimed the family had joined a witness protection program, but investigators quickly realized it was a cover-up. The preparations pointed to one conclusion: Xavier had meticulously planned the massacre of his own family. After the murders, Xavier was seen traveling through southern France, staying in cheap hotels. Surveillance cameras captured him carrying a large bag, but he appeared calm and unhurried. On April 15, 2011, he abandoned his car near a monastery in the foothills of the French Alps. From there, he disappeared without a trace. Despite massive manhunts, helicopters, and sniffer dogs, no body was ever found. Did he commit suicide, or is he still living under a false identity? His vanishing act made him one of the world's most mysterious fugitives. Over the years, dozens of alleged sightings have been reported. Some claimed to have seen him in South America, while others reported sightings in Scotland or the French countryside. None were confirmed. Forensic experts debated whether bones later found in a forest were his, but DNA ruled it out. Some investigators believe he is hiding with the help of wealthy contacts, while others insist he killed himself in the mountains. Theories range from secret lovers to religious motives. The lack of evidence has turned his case into one of Europe's most puzzling true crime mysteries. The Dupont de Ligonnès murders remain one of France's most chilling unsolved cases. Xavier's calculated plan, the brutality of killing his entire family, and his flawless disappearance continue to horrify the public. Every year, documentaries, books, and TV specials revisit the mystery, but no answers emerge. His empty chair remains a symbol of justice denied. Was he a desperate man collapsing under financial ruin, or a cold-blooded killer who escaped forever? Until Xavier is found, alive or dead, the case will remain a haunting scar on France's history. What if a family holiday turned into a massacre? On September 5, 2012, near the lakeside town of Annecy, France, a British-Iraqi family from Surrey, England, was enjoying a road trip. Saad al-Hili, his wife Iqbal, and her mother were traveling with their 2 young daughters. They stopped at a quiet forest lay-by in the Alps, a place known for its beauty and peace. But within moments, their world was shattered by violence. A gunman opened fire in broad daylight, killing the adults and a French cyclist who happened to be nearby. It became one of Europe's most chilling unsolved massacres. How could such brutality happen in such silence? Police arrived at a shocking sight. The al-Hili family's BMW car was riddled with bullets, the adults dead inside. Outside lay the body of Sylvain Molière, a French cyclist, also shot multiple times. Nearby, the couple's 2 daughters were found, one injured, the other miraculously alive, hiding under her mother's skirt for hours. More than 25 shots had been fired in the attack, executed with precision. The crime stunned both France and Britain, raising fears of contract killings, feuds, or international conspiracies. But the killer had vanished into the mountains. Early suspicion fell on family disputes, as Saad al-Hili was involved in a bitter inheritance battle with his brother. Others suggested the cyclist was the real target, as he was dating a woman from a wealthy local family. Some even believed it was an act of espionage, since al-Hili worked in the aerospace industry. Over the years, police questioned relatives, neighbors, and even foreign intelligence sources. Yet every theory collapsed without proof. The web of possibilities only deepened the mystery behind the Annecy killings. Why has the truth remained hidden for so long? French investigators interviewed hundreds of witnesses, checked ballistics, and searched mountain trails. They detained suspects, including Al-Hilli's brother, but no evidence tied him to the murders. A former French soldier was also questioned, but later released. Forensic experts determined the weapon was a Luger PZ-6, a rare pistol from World War I. But finding the gunman proved impossible. Each lead ended in frustration, leaving more questions than answers. The Annecy case grew into one of Europe's most complex and baffling criminal investigations. How can 4 people be slaughtered and no killer found? More than a decade later, the Annecy shootings remain unsolved. The surviving children grew up without their parents, carrying the trauma of that day. Families of both the Al-Hillis and Sylvain Moyer are still waiting for justice. Documentaries, books, and endless news reports keep the case alive. But the truth remains buried in the Alps. Was it a professional hit, a family feud, or a random act of madness? Until the killer is found, the Annecy massacre will remain one of Europe's most terrifying mysteries. What if your city suddenly became the hunting ground of killers? In 2012, the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv was shaken by a string of brutal murders later called the Kharkiv beheadings. Victims were discovered decapitated in forests and abandoned places, their bodies left in horrifying states. Panic spread quickly, as rumors claimed a group of men was carrying out the killings as a twisted game. For locals, the streets of Kharkiv no longer felt safe. What began as whispers soon turned into one of the darkest crime stories in modern Ukraine. Investigators discovered that the murders were carried out by 3 young men, Viktor Sayenko, Igor Suprunyuk, and Alexander Hanza. 2 of them, Sayenko and Suprunyuk, became infamously known as the DN Propetrovsk maniacs, but were later linked to killings in Kharkiv. They filmed many of their murders for pleasure, turning acts of cruelty into disturbing trophies. The brutality of their methods, including beheadings, shocked the world when footage surfaced online. Their complete lack of remorse made them symbols of evil, terrifying anyone who learned of their crimes. How were the killers finally exposed? The victims included random passers-by, men, women, and even children, chosen without warning. Some were attacked in forests, others near quiet neighborhoods. The killers recorded their acts with cameras, later found during searches of their homes. Investigators also recovered weapons stained with blood and personal belongings of the victims. These grim pieces of evidence connected them to more than 20 murders. The scale of the violence was almost beyond belief, leaving police and families horrified at the depth of the killer's cruelty. Can justice ever match crimes this horrifying? Authorities arrested the 3 men after months of investigation. During the trial, chilling videos of the murders were shown as evidence, shocking even the courtroom. Sayenko and Suprunyuk were sentenced to life in prison, while Hanza received a lighter sentence for lesser involvement. But the brutality of the killings and the cold expressions of the killers left scars on the public. Many felt that no punishment could ever equal the terror they had caused. The case became a grim example of how pure evil can exist behind ordinary faces. Why do these murders still haunt people today? The Kharkiv beheadings remain one of the most disturbing true crime cases of the 21st century. Videos from the killers still circulate on the internet, sparking outrage and horror. Families of the victims continue to demand their removal, but the footage has made the case infamous worldwide. For many, the story is not just about murder, but about how technology exposed human cruelty in its rawest form. The killings in Kharkiv are remembered as a chilling warning of how senseless violence can destroy countless lives and leave behind an endless nightmare.